It's Dr. Manny from Break the Cage MD. Time to run them again. Okay, so we're on Entrepreneurship is number 15. So we're making some pretty good progress, right? Learning some things, hopefully. All right, so number 15, it's kind of a mouthful, but it's a good one. It's delicious. Entrepreneurship is identifying and activating latent needs to create value. Now, not even just any value, but it's lasting value. So that whole mouthful, identifying and activating latent needs to create lasting value. What that means is that in the past, I've already discussed that value exists at the intersection of your skills. I'm going to fall, and that would suck. Of your skills and unmet needs. So let's translate that to something useful. Unless you identify a latent need by helping someone realize that one of two things: either they have a problem that you have the solution to, or they're in a situation and you can help them make it better. In both cases, the way you do that is always going to be mental contrasting. So you're going to introduce someone to the current state of things, current state of affairs, and then introduce a future state of affairs. Now, once you've done that, you've only done part of the job, because in the end, you want to make sure that you've demonstrated that you've either traveled the path so that you have the experience, or morning. You either want to demonstrate that you traveled the path so you have the experience and that you came back to help, which is something we discuss a lot in the hero's journey, or that either you maybe got lucky and were born into a better situation, yet you took the time to come back and learn what it's like in the earlier state, and then help bring back from there. Either way, in both cases, we're dealing with empathy. We're dealing with taking the time to get outside of your own head, outside of the product you're trying to sell, the your need to make money, your need to have luxurious things, and stepping into your prospect, your potential customer's situation, feeling their pain. In a lot of cases, anticipating a pain that they don't even know they have yet, and then planning for a solution for that. Yep. So this would probably be a good time to go through the list again, right? All right, so entrepreneurship, we start off, number one, entrepreneurship is a journey. Number two, entrepreneurship is science. Morning. Number three, entrepreneurship. No. Wait, I skipped an important one. Number two, entrepreneurship is power. Number three, entrepreneurship is science. Number four, entrepreneurship is art. And from there, we jump to your OS's. Entrepreneurship is Kairos, not to be confused with Chronos. That's number five. Number six, mythos. So it's the story. The story is what adds value. And just to contextualize it, the story is what lets people know how things could possibly be, how other people solved the problem in the past. Now, from there, we go to ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos, that's decorum. That's the ability to look, sound, and fit in and belong wherever it is that you're trying to provide your services. That plays a trust and relevance factor, because you've developed enough of an understanding of the mythos to be relevant and to be speaking in the frame of reference of your prospect. You're not speaking in abstractions, which is actually a place where I like to live. But either way, I like to bring it down to a level of what David Amerlin calls semantic density. So there's There's this thing called legitimation code theory. This is more geek stuff, but since we're talking abstract, legitimation code theory. And the main thing about it is that it believes that social justice can happen through what's called a semantic wave. Um, it's moving through semantic space, meaning space, definition space, and educating people about the different contexts of information and how one word can mean different things in different locations, and how to keep that in mind during um, communication and negotiation so as to solve intractable problems. Yeah, that was geekerific. Okay, so all that from ethos, right? Ethos, pathos. Uh, we talked about empathy, sympathy, just being able to resonate, um, have emotions that are in harmony with your context. Pathos, and then we said finally logos, which is the word. Also could be the logic. That's your conscious reasoning, the one that we often give too much value. We think it's the word, it's the nonverbals, it's the decorum, it's how you approach a person, and so on. Now, this last set is the learning set. Entrepreneurship is learning. Learning what? It's learning to fly, flight of imagination. You gotta use your imagination to be able to envision a place beyond where things are now. Take that journey and remember to come back. Entrepreneurship is learning to dive. You gotta tap into your unconscious, figure out how you're connected with the universe. Love yourself, heal your own wounds, and turn those wounds to gifts. Entrepreneurship is learning to learn. And let's see, they start stacking up after a while, don't they? Entrepreneurship is learning to learn. Entrepreneurship is having an internal locus of value. And the importance of the internal locus of value is that once you're running on core values, uh, you're not environmentally dependent. You don't change with the wind. You're able to know your value, even though when you change context, you find that some people are devaluing what you're doing. You're still able to recenter, what you have as a value, and just take the time to focus and reframe it so that it can be a value of the people you're with. It's really good for conflict resolution and negotiation. And last one is, well, next to the last one till today was number 14 was entrepreneurship is social intelligence. Finally, and we arrived today. 15, entrepreneurship is, let me see if I can remember the way I said it the first time. Identification and activation of latent needs to create lasting value. That's number 15. Dr. Manny, break the cage, MD.